Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to this brilliant but mismatched episode of the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. I love this episode, it's brilliant, but it's coming to you in two different parts. So the first part you're going to hear is a short little 10-minute interview I did with Luke Allen, who you may recognise from Reduced to Clear Biscuits. Finally got to meet him in person, it's awesome. And then the second part is Robin from Petit Glou, Iron and Rose and Glou Glou. He's the founder of these, the owner of these businesses, and we had a really good chat. So what we were supposed to do with this was meant to be an open studio sessions, but I didn't plan it very well. As you may have seen from our social media, we're very busy at the moment. We're here, we're there, we're everywhere. I've kind of spread myself quite thin, in all honesty, but it's all for a good cause. We're doing the 24-hour podcast challenge, which is taking me to many different places on many different days, as well as running the Shrewsbury Biscuit. The open studio sessions are a separate playlist that we plan together and we try and do in one day. I was meant to do this at the Market Hall, which I did. A huge shout out to Robin for letting me use Petit Glou, the corner of the Market Hall. Beautiful setup they've got there. But I kind of planned everything a couple of days before, which wasn't fair on the people that I'd spoken to. So apologies for those guys, and you know, scheduling didn't quite go to plan. So I'd set up expecting to speak to people throughout the day. It started off really busy. I spoke to Robin, I spoke to Luke, and the owner of Chirika, which you'll hear on the next podcast. So what we've got is a 10-minute interview with Luke Allen, a 26-minute chat with Robin, and then the next podcast, which is about half an hour with Chirika. So I'm going to put these two together. We'll have the next one with Chirika, and then what I'm going to do is for the next open studio sessions, I'm going to plan it properly a couple of weeks before, make sure everybody knows what's going on, because it's not fair to go in and be like, yo, what are you doing tomorrow? Want to do a podcast with me? So I do apologise to people for putting you on the spot like that. I'm learning still with doing this, and this has been one of my lessons. So thank you very much to everybody that joined me for these mismatch of shows, but I hope you enjoy them nonetheless. Enjoy the show. Peace out. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast with open studio sessions. We are set up in Petit Glou, up in the Market Hall. Robin's staring at me, he's like, oh, he's doing it again. And today, just walked in, is Luke Allen. Okay, I'm sorry the mic's quite high up.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah,
if they can hear me, then that's fine.
Those mics can hear the electricity running through the wall, don't worry.
Oh, we're good.
I got you, Doug, I got you. So, you're just in town, in the neighbourhood?
Yeah, your listeners are probably bored of my voice now. I think I've...
No, but this is the crazy thing we were just talking about, right? So we've been doing this podcast for months now, and we've never met.
Yeah. And then I saw you post on Instagram yesterday that you were going to be here, and I was like, I'm in Shrewsbury tomorrow, I'll just come and...
See, this is where my... I keep calling it social anxiety. I don't know what it is, but I didn't want to be like, yo, I'm in the Market Hall in case too many people turn up and I have to deal with too many people. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to do these interviews, but I don't want to have to like send people.
I imagine, especially after so long of being able to just do them virtually, it's probably just.
Oh no, I love doing this thing in person. This is what I was just saying to Robin, right? So when I'm in front of a microphone, I'm a completely different person. I'm a bubbly, fun, eccentric. Hey, let's do stuff. Whereas you get me away from the microphone, I'm a little bit nervous. It's weird, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think whether I'm different at all, but I don't know.
I'd say probably within the first 5 seconds of meeting you, very quiet. I think
maybe
to talk to, but like on StreamYard, you're a cheeky chappy. You're definitely a cheeky chappy.
Maybe, but it also might just be that it's a place I'm not here very often. I don't know. It's interesting. Because I've pretty much only done my shows virtually, apart from some very short interview segments I got at Comic Cons once. Everything has always been via Zoom or Skype or StreamYard. It's interesting.
It is interesting. So, what brings you to this neck of the woods today? You said you got some coursework that you...
Yeah, I had to pick up something from my college coursework. That's it, really.
Okay.
But it seemed like a good chance to pop by rather than just literally...
Meet you in person, yeah, that's great.
Rather than just literally pop in Shrewsbury for half an hour and then take the 2-hour bus journey back.
So let's recap what we've been doing. If you guys haven't been listening to the Reduced to Clear Biscuits, first of all, go and listen to them. They're a very different breed of Shrewsbury Biscuit podcasts because it's all run by Shane. Okay, so it's Shane's baby. So it's got a little bit more energy, a little bit of cheekiness to it. But we are doing something very important. We're following Luke while he's making, I think probably could be your breakthrough.
I hope
feature?
so. Yeah, maybe. Well, not feature, but yeah,
short film.
Could be the what I need. I'd say to break into the industry I'd like to get into. Yeah, for screenwriting and especially comedy is my thing. Just weird because my coursework is a drama. Currently, my biggest film, If I'm Good and Stable, is a drama, and yet I think comedy is my thing. It's just I find comedy takes a lot more focus, I think, and effort and consistent rewrites, whereas drama's comedy without the jokes in many ways. There's obviously more to it, but I find it easier, but not as fun.
Comedy's not easy though, is it?
No.
It's because you've got to make those jokes land. Just got to say as well, by the way, if you can hear music in the background, I do not own any of this music, so please don't.
Incidental should be fine, hopefully.
But what do you reckon is easier, sitting down with your mates or with your writing cast, writing comedy, or making it happen on camera? What's harder?
Well, I made a couple of comedy short films a while ago that aren't very good, so don't watch them.
I'm sure a lot of directors don't look at the stuff I did when I was younger, you know?
I've still got them online because we've got a couple of people in those casts who are doing pretty well with their careers at the moment, where it's like, I'll keep it there for that. But no, the style of writing didn't work, which is why working with Alex Yousefi, who's my co-writer for Reduced to Clear and co-director, was so much easier, because it means if we're writing and he writes a joke that makes me laugh, or I write a joke that makes him laugh, instantly it's like, okay, well that works, and there is some level of success to that. Whereas with writing two of my earlier projects, the 16th Minute and Conman Denominator, they were very much just, I'm writing them on my own, I think they're funny, but I don't know. And I mean, at the time I appreciated them, and I think if I hadn't made the 16th Minute, I might not be here making Reduced to Clear. But
one of the places I would love to visit if I could go back in time is the writing rooms of Monty Python sketches. You know, those.
Yes.
I would just love to have been in that room while all that magic was put together. Why didn't you just run around with coconuts instead of a horse?
And when it's like, oh, we can't think of a punchline, let's just have a 16-ton block just crash on them. It's just. Yeah, it's insane. And I mean, there's definitely a lot of Python influence in my part of writing. But then to say that Python have influenced comedy is like saying that the Beatles have influenced music. It's like, of course.
But they've done something that not so many people have been. I don't know. People have tried and they've got it right. Turning the sketch show into feature films is not easy. I mean, they did it. Harry Anfield did it with Kevin and Perry Go Large. I don't think they ever did anything with the Fast Show or anything.
I think Catherine Tate tried it a couple of times and it didn't work.
Yeah.
But then that kind of sketch show that we got a lot of in the kind of early 2000s was is kind of the same sketch, but circumstances are different. Like Little Britain, Catherine Tate especially, it was like, you get it, it's the nan who swears, that's it. You can't make that feature length. It needs more.
I mean, how long did it take for them to make a Mr. Bean movie? You know, it's just and they are short sketches. They're just little situations that Mr. Bean's in.
Shout out to Richard Curtis, by the way. If anyone can do it, he can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when are you starting filming then with Reduced to Clear? What's the dates? What's the venue? Are you allowed to tell the venue? I don't know.
I won't say the venue. We know the venue, but for the fact of that we haven't officially signed all the insurance forms yet, technically it's in their diary, but it's not booked, so I don't want to
penciled in
do that. But in terms of the dates, we're filming from the 21st through to the 23rd of August, We are building a set rather than using a pre-built charity shop. So we're also there on the 20th in this secret location building.
How are you going to build a charity shop?
That's the question our production designers have probably been asking me for ages since I told them we're building a charity shop. But no, I think it works fairly well. There's a few charity shops near our location that I'm liaising with about whether we could borrow some surplus stock and just kind of fill shelves and get the general look. But I think the advantage of building a set is also that, A, we can construct it entirely around how we picture it, which is ideal. And also, these places that we want the cameras to be, the cameras can just be there. And there is one gag which is going to be the most vague thing, but if people are listening back months from now when the film's out, maybe a year from now, I don't know, then they'll know. But there is one gag which we never thought we could master, but this location has made it insanely possible to get this one gag in the best way we can. So that's, even just for that one thing, we were like...
You're dying to tell people this gag. I'll tell you, me and Alex Yousefi have just been like, shh. Shane's just been giggling in the corner like he normally does.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. There's a few different gags. This is a different one to what I was talking about before, but this is what people who haven't listened to Reduced to Clear Biscuits will realise. Half of that show is not being able to say stuff and trying to work our ways around it.
We have a good time though.
I think it's great fun. I loved Nanette's episode last week. At this point, I think.
Yeah. Last week's episode was good. Nanette is. And then he said Lynette then. She'd have battered me. She'd have come over here. What did you call me? One of the most prolific background actors in the UK. If you've ever watched like TV ever, you will have seen her at some point.
Yeah, it was like as soon as our friend Miriam put us in touch with her, I just Googled her and I was like, I've seen this woman everywhere. And then now I watch everything and I just spot her. I think she has like insane experiences and stories where I'm sure... I'd love to do some sort of documentary about Nanette's career or something. I haven't spoken to her. This isn't like an announcement, or I don't know how possible it would be. But I would love either to do myself or for someone to just delve into the life of a background artist, supporting artist.
I know some background artists. I can probably help you out. One of my friends, Brian Plado, he was the photo double for Death in Bill and Ted 3. He's been on my show just on the strength of that, Oh,
that's incredible.
He does things all the time. He's a strapping, bold-looking chap, which means he can just be morphed into anything, So, well, anyway, look, we have only got 2 minutes before my next guest gets here. We've only been talking for 10 minutes, so I'll strike this off as a biscuit crumb. But it's been an absolute pleasure to see you.
Yeah, weird to do in person, but.
Well, we should do it again, definitely. Yeah. We can do. I mean, you can't do pubs. You got homework to do. But we can do physical interaction and stuff now. So that's good.
Yeah, it's
nice. It's nice. Yeah. Right, tell people where they can find you, Luke, and what they can.
I will. When's this going out? Because I will give us.
Probably go out on Wednesday next week.
Okay. So I can actually say this. I will specifically promote my podcast, which I've talked nothing about today, or much at all. The Love Rosie podcast, analysing Christian Ditter's rom-com Love Rosie, 5 minutes at a time. And if people are interested in that movie, then I can officially say that Sunday just gone, this Sunday at point of recording, Sunday just gone then, we did a special episode with Christian Ditter, the director, which I've been very, very excited about and keeping secret for a long while.
That's nice.
So that will be out. And I recommend you watch Love Rosie, but also I think it's just an interesting chat nonetheless.
It's nice when you get to speak to the guys from USUP Chronicles. Just did an interview with Chris Rabb himself from Jackass, and he's he's regularly just emailing us and stuff now, and that's weird. Rabb himself, that's crazy. It's nice when you get to meet your heroes, isn't it? And that wasn't even my show, but hey-o. Look, you've been great to speak to, as always. Look after yourself, and thank you guys for tuning in. Hello. There we go. I can hear myself now. Excellent. Hey guys, welcome to the Open Studio Sessions. We haven't done one of these for about a month. And we are coming to you from Petit Glou, on top of the Market Hall. Yeah. And we are with Robin today. How's it going, Robin? You good?
That's very good. Yeah, great, actually. It's,
I thought I'd ask to come here because obviously this place is newly opened. You were downstairs before with Iron
we had
Rose.
a stall downstairs on the sort of main market floor for about 4 years.
Yeah.
And then moved up here in March, beginning of March. Took over the unit in January, spent 2 months kind of sorting it out, cleaning it out and stuff, and then moved up beginning of March and opened the bar next door to the shop.
It's nice. The last time I spoke to you, you were adapting to lockdown by starting I call them the 4G, the sensory boxes, right, with the music, the food, and that's the last time I spoke to you.
Sort of Glou to go. Yeah,
Glou to go.
Glou to go. Actually, we've done another one of those since then. We did Zoom tasting where we sent boxes of like cheese and salami and also and bread and stuff all around the country, to various different restaurants around the country.
Oh, cool.
And then did a virtual and like little samples of wine. So we split the wine into little 20 cl samples.
Nice.
And did a live tasting, which was cool actually.
It's one of the most impressive things I learned about you is that you did just straight off the bat, like, we need to do something with Glou Glou. Is Glou Glou still open?
Yeah, we're back open again now. So we've been open a week and a half. Yeah.
It's going strong since it opened.
Yeah, and it's particularly Friday and Saturdays. It's like
people were repressed. Yeah. They needed to go.
Yeah. And it's just but I think kind of enough of pivoting now. I just want to get back to doing what we do. But we learned quite a lot and taken on a lot of new ideas and kind of worked on the offer in both. Glou Glou and Petit Glou, and we've now got our own in-house baker as well, so making like our own focaccia and stuff. So
that's coffee, wine,
focaccia, cheesecake. It's all happening. Yeah.
Shrewsbury's very own little Waitrose happening here. You got
kind of like it's exciting, and it's really exciting the way people are really taken to it as well. It's that people are, it's because part of what you love about this is just kind of sharing that enthusiasm for wine and for food and for just enjoying real food and real wine.
Nice.
And the environment and like that kind of whole vibe. Because going out, it's not just about the food or wine, whatever. It's about the vibe. It's about the culture, the theatre and the culture and the music and
And for you, I think the most impressive thing is you don't just sit on one thing. You're not like, okay, I know wine. That's what I'm going to do. You're like, let's learn about coffee. Let's learn about cheese.
Yeah.
Let's learn about, and you are constantly learning and adapting and evolving, and that's really important.
I think for me, wine is the hero. Like, that's the hero of the action of the movie. But the things like the food and the coffee and the cheese and all that kind of stuff are the supporting actors, and the cast and crew. And they're vital. They're really important to kind of the whole thing. Because I think wine on its own. We used to get a lot of wine tastings where you taste 100 wines in a day and it's very sterile, and all you do is taste the wine. You maybe chat a little bit about where they come from and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But mostly it is just tasting the wine. I think that's a really sterile way to enjoy sterile way to enjoy wine. It's so much more about the enjoying with the right kind of in the right context or with the right food or with friends. That's how to really enjoy it.
And what I love about this as well, what you've got here is you've got you guys and there's gin different in the corner, the cafe in the other corner as well.
Yeah.
So now what you're doing is you're drawing people up here.
Yeah.
So there's more. I've noticed even this morning when it's still quiet, there's still people. There's people milling around and walking around looking at shops.
Yeah. It's really nice. It's a really nice space for us to be in as well. I mean, market floor in the market is great and it's busy and it's buzzy and all that kind of stuff. But it's quite tight in terms of a space to kind of work in, and our space there was pretty small, but now we've got all this space up here and natural light, and it's definitely a couple of degrees warmer.
It's beautiful. So guys, if you don't know where Petit Glou is, it's upstairs in the market hall, but that corner of the market hall that curls round and you get that rounded side of the building, corner of the building, that's where we are, and it looks beautiful from the inside.
We're at the prow of the ship.
Prow of the ship.
It's not. I mean, it isn't the most beautiful building in a number of ways, but I think it's quite striking.
I think I can see why people get upset about the market hall, but at the same time, I think it's modern architecture, and it should be. I mean, like, not every building should be made Edwardian or Victorian.
Those pastiche of kind of architectural styles from a while ago are just a bit tiresome, really. Yeah. And I'd rather, if you've got modern materials, then why not use it and do it? And like, when I was chatting to, there was an old guy who came to the market a few weeks ago, and he came upstairs and having a chat with him. And he'd actually worked on the building of this building. And he was talking about they used some of the old Victorian market hall as like storage when they were kind of starting to build. Because they built it in phases, this place. And he said that it was just falling down. It was like they had a a space downstairs where they were keeping their stalls, and you could put a nail in the wall. You know, all the brick had just like rotted away, and it was just like, and some of it actually collapsed while they were working on it, which killed a couple of people. So it's, you know, I mean, it's a shame to lose valuable architecture, but equally, not all old architecture is valuable, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, it's. Isn't this building pretty? Oh, it's falling apart, but it's really pretty though.
yeah, exactly. And some of it's worth sometimes things are worth saving.
Yes.
And this, but this building is, I think it's cool, you know. Yeah.
I think it's got real magic about it. When you're upstairs and you're looking down at those green, the green rooftops of the
canopies.
The canopies. It's just, especially in the night. I mean, one of my most fond memories, I think it was the light switch a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And they had the ukulele group.
Yeah.
And I was stood here.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely buzzing. I'd just done an interview with Alex Vladimirov, who used to be at the Beard downstairs at the, in the what's it called?
In the atrium, kind of like.
We were sat having a coffee.
Yeah. In the bird's nest.
Bird's nest.
Yeah.
It's one of those. I was sat down there and I came up here, and the atmosphere was just glowing. It made me feel warm. And you know, this is when I not long first started doing this, and I felt like a real love for this town, just from this building.
It's great to see people really out enjoying themselves, having a good time, and like doing what they do, and like it's lovely.
Because not only as well are you Mr. Glou Glou, you've been here at Iron Rose. How long have you been at the Market Hall?
So 5 years almost.
So you've seen it all, and how has the atmosphere been here just during lockdown? I know you guys were allowed to be open, but not many people knew you.
No, and not everyone was open. So there's quite a lot of essential retailers. So the greengrocers and the butchers and fishmongers, they were all allowed to stay open. And we, towards the latter end of the first lockdown, we were allowed to reopen as a wine shop, because we were classified as an off license, which is not necessarily the way we'd kind of call ourselves normally, but we kind of, for the sake of being open, we embraced that. So it was a bit odd. I mean, it did feel about like Marie Celeste sometimes. Like people just kind of got up and left. But there was a nice positivity about it, and it felt like a safe place to be as well, because there's great food and great veg, and it didn't feel crowded ever, and everything is quite well managed in terms of kind of footfall and stuff. So, but it is nice that everyone's kind of back now, and
it seems to be back with a bang. Hopefully,
and
for
it's
a while.
full. You know, it's and there's one of these stalls is there. She's moving on to she's got a full-time job with English Heritage and stuff. So there was it was like a kind of huge waiting list with huge kind of demand for the stall she's vacating, which is really exciting. You know, it's So
when it's Mike's position, I feel like Lenny, Motorhead, the Ace of Spades, Lemmy. Sorry. This place is fantastic, and you've been okay. Do you think this is down because you've adapted and not sort of?
I think we were in a position where we could seize opportunity. Kitsy joined as assistant manager Glou Glou 2 weeks before lockdown, and so she wasn't on. And so.
By the way, shout out to Kitsy, because I was like, you'll have your own mic and everything today.
She's working at Glou Glou today, so she didn't get a mic.
And she's not here.
Yeah.
So.
She joined as so I wasn't able to furlough her, but she's great. So I was really keen to keep her on the books, and keep her. And so she spent the first 6 weeks of lockdown just loading up our website with all the products and like finding out the details about each of the wines and stuff. So now we've got a proper, fully functioning website, and that was really cool. And she's been enormously helpful. And then Jack's been looking after getting everything back open, and then
18.
That's all. And then we've got quite a few new starters. We just started because we've got 2 locations now, so we've got a few new people.
It's really interesting that you brought in an assistant manager just before lockdown. I mean, like, do you think like introduction to chaos isn't necessarily a bad thing, because when it calms down, you kind of like
I think in a weird way this has felt quite difficult, kind of reopening everything, because we'd settled into quite a good routine, like
we all have. I mean, I've put a few pounds on. Well, I've got to walk. What?
I know, and it's like, because we can't, like the retail business was it's rocking along, it's doing pretty well, and we had a nice routine, and and then you kind of throw Glou Glou back open and Petit Glou open, and then it's a whole new bag of worms, or kind of worms, or whatever kind of
big bucket of worms. I imagine like after not actually being around people. I mean, this is nice for me as far as the biscuit's concerned. I'm getting to go out and see people again. I miss that so much. Exactly. But my first time going out and doing a physical interview with someone, I had butterflies. I was like, oh my god, I was pacing and
I remember be able to talk and ask sensible questions.
How do I do this again?
How do you socialise? It's a muscle, isn't it?
Well, I do suffer from social anxiety as well. Like I see Luke Allen, who's just hanging around at the back there. He's going to be speaking to us in a second. If that was me, I'd have had a panic attack because I didn't want to stand there. I'd have gone and done a few laps. Because that's kind of how I am. But when I'm in front of a microphone, when I'm doing the radio or the podcast, I'm just a different person. It's weird. Right?
I think that's really interesting, isn't it? I think
psychologically, I think I'm probably broken a little bit.
Everyone's broken a little bit. But I think it's like, you see lots of actors who are shy or musicians who really, really find it very difficult to actually kind of.
Well, they say a lot of musicians do have actually a bipolar, or
But there is something magic about being. I'm with a musician as well, to a degree, and it's like, but there's something magical about performing in front of a bunch of people, and it's like you get anxious about it, and sometimes it doesn't go right, and it's really annoying. But it's when it's cool, it's fun.
I think it's an odd one. I mean, last night I did the radio. I do a radio show called Naughty Talk, and 6 weeks in, and last week was the first week it kind of popped. It was like because we speak to people on Discord, and people were in Discord. I'm loving this song, bouncing, I'm doing it, and I was just like, oh my god, people are enjoying what I'm doing. And it just adds like a bit of a bounce to your voice and what you do. And it's like jazz, isn't it? Jazz.
Exactly. It's an interaction. It's in a way it's a very different kind of performance because it's very organic and it's very integrated, and it's not something that everyone kind of gets either, but it's that kind of interaction with people, and it's like when we're recruiting staff for the recruiting team for Glou Glou and Petit Glou and for the shop as well. It's like some people have a natural kind of empathy and like going out to see people and looking after them, and it's called hospitality for a reason because it's supposed to be hospitable, and it's like and it's really interesting, and like some people it takes them a while to kind of get into that, and I think some people it doesn't really suit. It's not for them. And that's fine. And it's nothing.
I'll be the first one to admit I'm not good with customers. I'm doing the air quotations there. I'm not good with customers.
Some customers can drive you bonkers.
I'm good with people, just not good with customers. I know you said the K word then, but especially people with high expectations. That's how I put that one. It's not How is it for you coming on the days when you just don't wanna coming in and running this kingdom that you got now?
It's generally speaking, you do have days when you wake up and you think, oh god, here we go again. But actually getting in, it's fun, it's like, and also because we're constantly getting new wines and like there's different things going on, and there's always frustrations, and you think, oh no, we could do that better, or they could do this instead, and and there's kind of obviously financial pressures because you've got a big team, and there's been all that kind of like, but it's but no, it has. I think in a way we've been lucky because there have been opportunities that have come up that we've been able to seize. I think if it was a stagnant business, I think that would be really frustrating.
Do you ever sit back and be like, and just look at what you've made and you're like, I did that.
Occasionally,
Well, that Glou Glou logo though, it's very iconic.
Well, that's it's Tony Clarkson at Seven Agency. He's just brilliant. He's such an amazing designer. He's just he's done the Glou Glou and the Petit Glou and the Iron and Rose logos, and he's done work for Concrete Studio and people like that. But everything he does, like we were joking yesterday because he sent we were getting to design some new T-shirts for us for the team, and to sell as merch and stuff. And
nice.
And he sent through sort of a range of different styles, and we always know that there's one that he really likes. Because there's always he sends through like 3 or 4 different designs, and we always know there's one he likes, and it's spotting the one he likes. And it was a range, and it was a bunch of different colours as well. And we was kind of saying, and I said, he's just chosen some random colours. And actually, he hasn't actually just chosen some random colours. He's chosen colours he thinks are really cool. But it's kind of it's really But he's
trust the artist though. You got to trust it. It's nice that you stick with the same artist as well.
That's why you employ people to get to do stuff, though, isn't it? Just what's the point in having a designer and saying,
I struggle with stuff like that. I mean, we're supposed to be doing some discovery meetings with Reach for the 24-hour live podcast that we do.
Oh yeah.
They're going to brand us, and they're going to give us a name, and they're going to give us a logo and stuff. And I've always, everything I've ever made for the biscuit, for Yusuck, for Thorskin back in the day, I've made everything myself. I've done it all. I've branded it myself, and to sit back and be like, do your thing, that's going to be hard for me, but I need to do it. They're the experts.
Let go of it. Yeah. We're getting Matt Sewell. So Matt Sewell did a mural for us at Glou Glou at the back, which is kind of inspired by a wine label, which has like hoopus and sort of vineyard scene and stuff. And we're getting him to come and do. We've got this massive wall in the bar at Petit Glou over there, which has got some blackboards with the menus and stuff on it at the moment. We're going to come and do a mural on there in the next week, I hope, Matt. And that's again inspired by a particular wine label, and so it's kind of like a big moon, and then sort of some night jars and owls and things in it. But again, it's kind of like, I had an idea of the label I liked, and the kind of basic idea, but and it's Matt's so creative, and like, it's crazy to say to an artist to paint it like that.
Who's that that's doing it for you?
Matt Sewell. He's done quite a lot of artwork around town. So Raven Studios, he's done those amazing, really dark, almost sinister kind of looking ravens on them as you drive along in front of the Salopian. And done a few various bits. He's had a big project with the NHS just recently to publish quite a lot of books. But
might get in touch with him. I want to speak to a mural artist.
He's well respected. He's great. He's had an interesting life. When he first came in here, kind of when we opened, see him eyeing up. He's a sort of graffiti artist kind of background, I think. And you see him eyeing up this big blank wall. You can see him looking at it, thinking,
It's funny, these people that kind of live halfway in and halfway out of the underground, like Chris Shirk, for example, from Shrewsbury. I can just imagine walking around town with him and just eyeing up a building that you can just scale the side of, So that's interesting.
Have you ever been to Valparaiso?
No, what's that?
In Chile, there's it's a student city right on the coast of Chile, and I went there. I've been there a couple of times on wine trips, and there's masses of incredible graffiti, like just real artwork all over the city, and it's just really striking place. It's really cool, and it does bring graffiti to a real art level.
We went to when I went to Colombia. It was in the middle of was it the elections? Just before, there's something going on anyway, and there's almost like graffiti wars, left versus the right. And there's like this wall of like right, and there's this wall of like left, and it was beautiful to see. Like, let's fight it out with art. There's something beautiful about that.
It is. It's really. In Belfast and Derry and Londonderry, there's the murals and the walls, and there's all that political kind of.
They'll just paint big letters and stuff, though.
No, it's real character and stuff. No, it's like some of them like really strong artwork. It's amazing.
Cool. Okay, I'll have to research that. I love stuff like that. So what's next for you then? Is this? I'm moving off that. What's next for you then with this? Is it you got the mural coming up? Is it just a case to suck it and see what's going on? Let's just see how it grows.
I think we want to make these work really well. So the next few months is about making up until Christmas is making these what we've got work really well, and really finessing the retail offer, so improving the website, improving our communication and stuff like that. So it's about settling into our groove, really. Having said that, if opportunities come up, then not going to say no. And there is one exciting opportunity that's potentially coming up, a bit of vertical integration. So that will kind of talk about that in due course. But that's.
And how hot are the Market Hall have been great. So shout out to everybody, the management here that's just been hot on the press. Kind of had a plan in place. Did you guys communicate really well as in like what's going to happen if, heaven forbid, touch wood, it's not going to happen, but third lockdown? Is there a plan in place?
I think they've been incredibly. The management at Kate's been fantastic in terms of just being determined to keep the place open, for essential retailers and for people who have businesses in here to continue to be able to function to some degree, because it's just so unfair if everyone's forced to go to supermarkets, to buy their groceries or buy their meat or whatever, and or buy their clothes. It just seems ridiculous. So they've been really fantastic in terms of just ensuring that some businesses in here can continue to function.
There's been a real trend for independent traders, though.
Yeah,
I've seen in Shrewsbury.
It's really exciting, isn't it? There's so many really like beefy boys opening up, and some really interesting like.
You've seen big boys like Waitrose and Marks and Spencer struggling.
Yeah.
Debenhams gone into Telford. That's a trick. And then you got I mean, that's not nice to see. It's not nice to see, but at the same
it's
time,
tragic that people losing their jobs and losing their employment and stuff. But there's opportunities coming up, I think, which is and a lot of premise being converted into partly residential and partly retail now as well, which I think is going to be good for the town.
I mean, I think if we were like earlier into the progression of Marks and Spencers or Waitrose, and you're like, I knew the guy who started that. It might be different. Like with Duncan from Planet Donuts, we know Duncan. He's going to go nationwide, guaranteed. I pretty much guarantee that. I said that a while ago. But like people might be like, it's just another Planet Donut. But we know Duncan. And we've seen that happen. Do you know what I mean? So to us,
you've seen the struggles and you've seen the kind of like,
Oh, absolutely. You know, and good luck to you, Duncan. But I tried to get him on. He's like. It's no time. Trying to get him on, he's busy guy. But it's a very exciting thing going on in Shrewsbury at the moment with independent traders, because I mean, like there's like a real click when it comes to the businesses around here. This is one of the things I've noticed since I've been doing this show is the way that people collaborate, cooperate, communicate, all these kind of things. And I think during this difficult time, have you guys made friends during this? Have you learned about new things? And
definitely. Definitely come across people and chatted to people and talked about collaborating on events and stuff like that. And a lot of for us, a lot of it was a lot of our producers, the producers we work with, like the farmers and stuff like that. We were trying to find ways of being able to help them still reach their market, because they lost, Applebee's, they sold a lot of their cheese and butter and stuff through Neil's Yard and to On Trade and around the country, and that all just closed and finished. But then, Neil's Yard, who are like they were managed to turn their business around into really consumer facing from being a trade facing organisation, really turned it around incredibly quickly. So it's been, I think there's been a lot of incredible amount of positivity.
Yeah, that'll be positive. That you've been moving forward, not backwards. You've been kind of like, I'm not just going to tread water. I'm going to try different things.
Well, kind of like you got to give it a go. I think.
What are you looking forward to most when we're completely out of this? Have you got any holiday?
Not having to wear a mask all day.
Yes.
Which would be lovely. Going on holiday, going to the beach, and just being able to kind of just relax
Smile.
into stuff. My wife did like an interview on radio. I don't know, it was Radio 4 or something the other day, and just like quite posh, it's quite like, and talking. And they asked her what she was most looking forward to do, and it was paint her nails. I don't get my nails painted, but that was apparently the thing she was most looking forward to, is getting her nails painted. At the end of this serious interview about art, it's like,
I want to go to. This is going to sound terrible after what we've just been through. I want to go for a greasy, sweaty, horrible concert where everybody's just jumping around. That's what I want. Festival.
We booked a gig actually in September.
Who are you going to see?
We're going to go down to Binker and Moses at Ronnie Scott's. It's my son's 18th birthday, and what he really wants to go and do. He's into jazz, so we want to go to. That'll be cool. Can't wait for that.
Nice. I mean, I said last year we were supposed to go to America. I was going to go meet a lot of. I work with a lot of people in America, and I was really looking forward to it. Not last year, year before. This is where we are right now. So if I get the money and whatever happens, I'd love to do that. I'd love to go do a tour of America. There's like loads of radio stations and things that said like, you come on, you can do this. Lots of friends that I've made that I've never met, that I've worked with for years. So that's one of the things. Traveling is going to be really cool.
Traveling definitely. Just going to vineyards again, and it's like. We went to visit some of the producers a couple of weeks ago before this tasting, the Zoom tasting, and that's just lovely. I mean, I've visited a lot of producers in the past, but it's always been wine producers. But to go and visit Sarah Appleby and meet her cows and see her dairy and all that kind of stuff was, just fantastic. It was, lovely. And so, going out to visit wine producers again and
yesterday
trying different food. And
I went for a drive yesterday, and it's. Words can't explain how I felt about it. I mean, I went to meet the Vice Lord Lieutenant in Nestcliff. We went to the Royal Hill pub in Nestcliff. And I was driving. It was a beautiful day, a rare sunny day in the UK, and I hadn't been that way since I was a kid, right? And I drove around the corner. First of all, the hills. You see the hills. And,
it's magic,
amazing.
Yeah.
And then I came to the MOD base, and I spent a lot of my youth in that. I was in the cadets from when I was like 13 until I was 18.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen that place since I was a kid, and I was like, I got so emotional just being there. You know,
and there's memories of spending time with a bunch of other people, and
let's go out there and make more memories, people. You know,
definitely. Yeah.
Well, you've been awesome to speak to. I mean,
thank
you for letting me use this place today.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
I'm going to hang around and speak to as many people as I can. There is an open invitation for people to come and join me. There's 3 or 4 people from the Market Hall that are going to be joining me as well. But thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Wicked. Brilliant. Thanks very much.
Tell people where they can find you on social media.
It's Glou Glou _SY1 for the bar, Glou Glou bar. Petit Glou or Petit _Glou for the bar here, and Iron _and _Rose for Iron and Rose. Otherwise, Facebook, and our email, and just Google us. We'll come up.
Brilliant. Yeah. You've been awesome to speak to. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Guys, make sure you guys check out our website, which is www.theshrewsburybiscuitpodcast.co.uk, and that's made for us by our friends at Web Orchard. This has been awesome. Thank you very much. Cheers.